Howdy. Another manifestation of transmutation of elements, this time the transmutating element is the element of stress. In other words, this video is another discharge event, trying to transmutate the elements of stress into elements of information, knowledge, understanding. Yeah, might sound crazy, but this is how I try to fight the wolves and feeding the good ones. We are in Switzerland. We have the Jura Park Aargau, where we find olithic metal ore, iron ore, like little sphericals. The biggest accumulation in the whole Jura region as known. We have thermal baths here, thermal baths here, thermal baths. There must be other ones, but I can't point them out because they are not visible on this map. We have a quake 21 hours ago, 1 kilometer in depth. Mindfulness. You have no idea how much stuff fits into one's mind. So there is a field, and this might be much steeper than this. Let's check out the terrain. Yeah, there is a hill. I know the region, I have been there. There is somewhere this mining operation, it's not big. Here they were fixing once my knee, and then they were fixing their fixing again. Since the first operation didn't went well, I had to go back. They messed up. Here we have Betznau, one of the world's oldest still functioning nuclear power plant on an island in a white river just beside the olithic metal or iron ore depositions. Here we have the Paul Scherrer Institute, of which I still wait for an answer, since the Eidgenössische Technische Hochschule, ETH, was rather positively in their reaction to what I wrote to them. And I wrote to those people, Paul Scherrer Institute. They don't still have no answer provided to me. We have the synchrotron light source of Switzerland, whatever that means, and time out is beside there. They are going to stop the time. We have also, here on the other side on the hill, maybe it's not marked at all. No, it's not here. Here we have to watch. Here we have a nice facility. Doesn't tell us anything. Nothing is written. Nothing is marked. There are just some houses. But you have to know, here we have, probably you can see, probably not. But that's a rather steep felsic cliff with roads and stuff, and they end here. So they are carrying nuclear waste into the mountain, from which, or on top of which, we have water springs all over the place. There might be somewhere here on this side too. Many, many. And we have the Aare River, which is connected to the Rhine. And we also have, where is it? The place where it all started in a way. Maybe I have to zoom out a little bit. Here. Lenzburg. Back in the 90s. I think in the first half of the 90s. I was in school and we had to make this kind of presentations to the rest of the class. And since in the region are hundreds of castles, it happened so that once every one of us had to make a presentation about one castle. And there were somewhat like more than 20 people in the class, so we heard about 20 different castles. And everyone, of course, had to choose one. And I happened to choose the castle of Lenzburg. So, somewhat 30 or more years later, I read Wikipedia. Lenzburg Castle is a castle located above the old part of the town of Lenzburg in the canton Aargau, Switzerland. It ranks among the oldest and most important of Switzerland. The castle stands on the almost circular Castle Hill, altitude 504 meters, which rises approximately 100 meters, 330 feet, over the surrounding plain, but is only about 250 meters in diameter. The oldest parts of the castle date to the 11th century, when the Counts of Lenzburg built it as their seat. The castle, its historical museum, and the Castle Hill, with its Neolithic burial grounds, are listed as heritage sites of national significance. History. The prominent hill was already a settlement site in prehistoric times. For example, in 1959, a Neolithic grave site was uncovered in the car park. There have also been small discoveries from the Roman and Alemannic eras. A legend tells that there was once a dragon living in a cave in the hillside, who was defeated by two knights, Wolfram and Guntram. The grateful people made the two counts of Lenzburg and gave them permission to build a castle on the hilltop. So back in the days, as I made this presentation, I had to tell the whole class that on this very hill, where we have now this castle, has been living once a dragon. Many years later, I had to go to some school in Lenzburg, and I usually had a place on the window when I have been in school so I can watch the clouds. Probably I should have listened to the teacher too, but yeah. So I was sitting there every Thursday for 3 years in the classroom at the window, watching at the castle, which was some 500 meters away or something, and wondering about the story about the dragon. And from where I was sitting, I could see the place where the supposed dragon cave was. So I watched at the very spot for 3 years, many hours, wondering about this story. What's about the dragon? Today, it is still, for me personally, a very special place. The Castle of Lenzburg in Switzerland. The cave where the dragon used to live, I think, is on this side. In my paper, Plate Tectonic Issues, the Influence of Electricity in Rock Forming Processes and a Coherent Connection Between Science, Mythology and History of Finland. The very first picture is a rock I found some 100 meters where I lived. It was just on the side of the street, on the road, on the ground, just some random piece of stone, which has a sea pinch imprinted in it. And a traditional Chinese dragon motif teacup or coffee cup or whatever cup. Since the papers are about Finland and its history and stuff, we have the Finnish lion, but we also have a dragon, lion, bear from Habsburg, which is not too far from Lenzburg in Switzerland. And that picture is basically an accident because I tried something and accidentally this happened and they fitted really well together. So these kind of lions, they are all over the place. Switzerland, Finland, Germany, Austria, wherever you go. Schloss Lenzburg, temporarily closed. Let's put all the stuff away quickly. That's the hill. And here on Google Earth, it looks rather aerodynamical. Check it out. Yeah. It doesn't really look like that, I can assure you. But we can see at least that the shape of the hill. I think they wouldn't have made a castle on top of that if there wouldn't be water, because they would have to go to somewhere to get water whilst building the castle, and it would be a huge waste of time and stuff. So there has to be a water spring in the castle complex. There's a tree growing, and I've been there several times, but of course I was not equipped with the right knowledge. Nowadays, if I would get a possibility to go there, I don't know, this would be a very tense emotional moment, I guess. We have been there at school. We were eating medieval food. There was no salt and stuff. It was somewhere eatable, but anyway. I have been there. There was this kind of mountain bike video project which I was involved to. What was the name of it? Rock Stars Switzerland, some mountain bike stuff. I was riding trial bikes and mountain bike, but I don't know, you cannot find it anywhere on the internet. I would have shown it because I really would like to see them. There was this big premiere, or how first time they show it ever, in Zurich in some big cinema, and creme de la creme of the mountain bike scene was there, and everybody watched it. It was very interesting back in the days. And we were filming here at this castle because it has rather steep slopes. There was like, you can jump from walls down into steep slopes and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Did we talk about dragons or not? But we were riding bike there. This is a very special place to me where I started to wonder about the thing of the dragons. Let's see some pictures still. Now we have proof that it isn't so aerodynamical as supposed to. This is, as far as I remember, the place where the dragon once lived. That's the cave. Or it has been a cave. Maybe it got... Check this out. That's amazing. You know, if we are on the pinnacle of whatever evolution, and many hundreds of years ago they built things like that. That's these buildings are huge. They are on top of a hill, you know. That's also amazing, and it's very intact, and it's rather white in color, so probably Yeah, I don't know what flag that is. Never seen that. That's the flag of Lenzburg, this blue dot. White and blue. Mountain water, white rivers or whatsoever. What it ever could represent. I told you. Lions, dragons, unicorns, bears, griffins, all the same. Electromagnetic discharge event from ancient times, impersonificated into animals which have to some degree similar features like loud noise, a bear or a lion or whatsoever. They can make a huge noise, they roar, they are scary, like the weather events have been back in the days. If you ever have heard a lightning strike close to you, it is really loud. I haven't been in a hurricane or whatsoever, but I assume if the wind is blowing 250 kilometers per hour or whatsoever, it's going to be really loud. So that's why the animals very often have the same attributes of being loud. A red tongue, which might represent fire, hence a thunderbolt, lightning strike, electrical discharge events. A thunderbird. So, which is the same thing. He has the tongue, he has tetrahedrons, repetitive patterns, he has, if you would imagine or can imagine, here would be the dots and this would be Squatterman. Just in form of a bird, and it's big and it might be scary, it's flying in the heavens like the weather is doing. So the whole hill might be a cryptodome, a volcano after all. The dragon on top of the castle with golden wings. They might be not golden, but they look golden. They could be golden since Switzerland is very rich. Everybody knows that. And if you watch at the countryside, there might be many, many, many other cryptodomes. The whole place might be full with cryptodomes. There's a building complex on top of this hill too. They won't get down to the valley 10 times a day to get some water. No, they live there. They have their own water. Nuclear power plant in the background as well. Ain't it beautiful? Yes. Uh, I think it worked. I am really aware of this has been some kind of a discharge event. And for those who think that I might be crazy since talking about dragons and such, you probably just need to read up. So wherever you see this kind of lions, bears, dragons, griffins, unicorns, they are just impersonifications of really, really, really bad weather. Thank you.